What's up, everybody? We are the Hypes Watch, and once again, we are back to review the third episode of The Flash. If you haven't seen our last two reviews of the first episode of The Flash, go back and watch it, and here we are. So, we'll have our esteemed panel here introduce themselves, starting with Sir L.T. Giles.
What's up, everybody? And one thing that's making me laugh right now, and I'm sorry, but does anybody notice how Alchemy sounds like Jigsaw?
You know why, LT? Because the voice of Jigsaw is the voice of Alchemy.
Oh, so that's the actor?
Yes.
Oh, okay. See, I had no idea. I thought it was just somebody who sounded like them.
Yeah, well, last season they had Tony Todd voicing Zoom, so Candyman.
It sounded like Candyman. Yeah.
All right, well, Jerry, go ahead and introduce yourself.
All right, you guys know what it is. It's Jerry the Targaryen Steamboat here, and we're ready to talk about The Flash, even though I still haven't watched the previous seasons yet.
It's all good. Don Willie.
What's going on, everybody? Don Willie back again to review this episode with my boys, and, let's get it cracking.
And, of course, I'm James Michelle, your humble moderator, here to talk about this episode. So we're going to start off here talking about what happens in the beginning. Of course, Barry and Iris go on a date. It's kind of awkward. It's not the best date in the world. And, of course, all things that happen here, they get interrupted. First by a robbery that's happening, and he quickly goes over there and handles the situation as a speedster would. But then they get a notification from the crew that they need to go back to Star Labs. And of course, Jerry and LT guys might have been confused at this part, but yes, these were the breaches that were caused by Zoom that connected Earth 2 and Earth 1. I thought that they were all concealed, but I guess Wells found a way to break open. And of course, my personal favorite. Or go ahead.
I was gonna ask. I was kind of confused. They kept calling this guy Harry, but this looked like Jesse Quick, like Jesse Chambers. So that would make this guy like Johnny Chambers. But is it Harry Quick? I don't know what's going on here.
This is different from comics or whatever. His name is Harrison Wells. He is the main bad guy in season 1, but in season 2, it was actually Thawne, who you guys met in the first episode, pretending to be him. But in season 2, there's this whole thing with Earth 2, and this is his Earth 2 counterpart. And he comes here. He's a different character. He's my favorite character, and he's here with his daughter, Jessie Quick, who has his mother's name, not his name. His name is Harrison Wells. She's Jessie Quick. And, of course, she is going to be the speedster Jessie Quick that we know. So,
wait, is her last name really Quick in here, or is it Chambers?
Her last name is Jessie Quick. His name is Harrison Wells. Don't think of any Chambers. This is different from the comics. So that's settled. And, yeah, she pops out and revealed to be a speedster. So, Don Willie, since you know Harrison Wells, obviously, what did you think about this return? And if you want to say anything about the date, it's pretty inconsequential, but go ahead.
Yeah, you know what? We needed Harrison Wells back. He was definitely an integral part of the Flash team. And it's cool to have him back. I mean, was the date supposed to be significant? Because you said something about are you talking about Barry and Iris's date?
Yeah, that wasn't very significant.
No, fuck that date. Nobody cares. Not even them.
Well, I gotta say, in these 2 dates that they had, Iris looked pretty damn good in these dates. So she all dressed up. So I'm gonna say there.
Do you have anything to say on the introduction of Harrison Wells and Jessie Quick?
Other than it kind of confused me, I thought, well, first they kept calling her Jessie and she was running, so I thought it was Jessie Quick, and pretty much I think you just heard my confusion about it. So that's pretty much what my thoughts were. I thought it was Johnny Quick or some kind of version of Johnny Quick.
Right. Obviously, if you would have watched season 2, it all would have made perfect sense. But alas, LT, what'd you think?
I remember. I think when I said I told you guys I watched a few episodes in season 1, and I remember Harry was in season 1, right? Because I remember the face.
Yeah, his name was Harrison Wells. It was a different iteration of him. It was actually Eobard Thawne who stole his look.
Okay.
And he was actually, he was like trying to train Barry. It's convoluted. Essentially, he trained Barry, and Barry resents him because he's the guy that killed his mother. But then you find out in season 2 that there's a different iteration. He can't get over it, but it's a different guy. This is the one from Earth 2. He's a good guy. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I liked him, and the Jesse character, and I have to agree with Jerry that Iris looked damn good in both the dates, but a little bit better in the second date where she's wearing the blue.
I agree 100% with LT on that.
Well, you can echo those sentiments later. So yes, this next part, of course, Wally is showing signs of jealousy about not having speed, and I'll just get it out of the way now. There's obviously more things, but I think it's pretty apparent. I'll just make this prediction now. You guys can see what you want, but I think it's pretty apparent what's going to happen is that Alchemy, he talked about having the dreams. We'll talk about that scene later. I'm pretty sure Alchemy is going to come to him with an offer to make him Kid Flash. And I'm going to assume that he's going to become kind of this like arrogant, maybe quasi villain for a couple episodes. And then, he'll get humbled and then he'll eventually rejoin the team. But I think that's the route they're kind of going because they're kind of making him kind of pissy and kind of whiny. And so that's what I think is going to happen. LT, what do you think?
I could see that, James, but what do you think will be the consequences if he accepts, and what's the backlash from him accepting it from Alchemy?
I don't know what the backlash is going to be, but I just think he's going to be, he's going to like try and prove like he's the better speedster or something is what I think is going to happen. And then he's going to get humbled. But what do you think, Jerry?
That's interesting. I didn't think about that at first, but that kind of makes sense, especially maybe as like a mid-season crisis thing. And then like up until then, Alchemy maybe is acting like Rita from Power Rangers, sending, Monster of the Week after him. So I could see something like that happening.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, I think he'll just get humbled and then rejoin the team, but I just think there's going to be some sort of crisis there for a little bit. What do you think, Don Willie?
Yeah, ever since you had first mentioned that to me, I was thinking, I'm like, he's going to try to out Barry, and somebody's going to wind up getting hurt. And then he's going to be like, oh, my God, I'm so sorry. I'm going to fall in line now, and I'll help you take down Alchemy, even if that means me losing my speed because I have to sacrifice as a hero is supposed to do. So, yeah.
Maybe Paco Ramon is the one who takes him down.
Dude, his name is not Paco.
His name is Paco.
Anyway, moving on from that, we are, of course, next introduced to this week's meta, and it's a girl named Frankie. It appears that she, is in an abusive situation, like, this foster father was a despicable person. That being said, she, you see her eyes flicker. It seems like some sort of possession. Next thing you know, the dude's getting smacked around with a heavy metal light post. So, we'll talk about the next part where, she's in the police station. She's talking to Joe, and then Julian comes in, acting like Draco, and tricks her to giving up her DNA. And then she claims that she was blacked out at the time. So, Jerry, what do you think about this whole situation with this meta of the week?
Well, first I thought the father was just completely over the top. I haven't seen a character portrayed that over the toply evil since Marin Trent, right before he got it. And I'm going to take the opposite side on this whole Darko Malfoy thing and say that I really thought he did a very good job here. I thought he was almost Sherlock-like in the way he thought of things while, Joe and Barry were like, oh, like they didn't really get what was going on. And he's like, I see some inconsistencies going on. Let me test. Once he tests, got some positive proof, boom, he went to business. And I think it took a lot of courage to stand up to a meta when, he's a nothing. So I was kind of impressed by Darko here.
Don Willie?
Hashtag British dick in full effect. Listen, it's one thing to do the whole thing of testing the DNA, but if you're convinced that she can move things with her mind and, crush people, why in the world are you going to go and egg her on, knowing that there's a possibility that she could do it to you? Now, I know
because he's a scientist, and you got to confirm your hypothesis.
No, I understand that. I understand that part, but at the end of the day, if you're thinking that she is a homicidal maniac, I don't think the thing that you do is unleash a homicidal maniac on the police force.
They're the police force. They're supposed to be the one to handle the homicidal maniacs.
Look, but there's a difference between them being prepared to handle the homicidal maniac versus you going and yelling at her, not knowing exactly what her power is, and then next thing you know, she tries to drop a damn a big fucking brass wall on you. And so I was just gonna say, James, you had brought up last week about you thinking that Julian is Dr. Alchemy. Now, here's the only thing I would have against that, and that is him still standing in the way while that fucking wall was falling. Because let's say Barry wasn't there, this all happens, Barry is not around, Barry doesn't come and save dude. Now, if he lets the wall fall on him, and he winds up either getting severely injured or dying, then obviously he can't be Alchemy. If the wall falls and then suddenly he's doing some other magical shit, then he's Dr. Alchemy, and then it's like, oh wow, you got the villain working right there. So I mean, I'm not saying that it's impossible, but that is, I think, one point possibly against your theory.
Two things. One, I think he can go either way. I think he could either be Dr. Alchemy, or maybe he's actually legitimate. But one, we know some writing in these shows aren't always consistent. We know that for a fact with other shows. Two, maybe it was a test. Maybe he suspects Barry is the Flash, because like I said, I think he gave him the information on purpose last time about how to find the rival. He knows Barry's in the room, and he knows that Barry would try and save him if that was the case. But I don't know. That's just, it's hypothetical. But we'll see. Sarah T. Giles, what did you think about the whole situation?
I must have blanked this scene out. I mean, I remember not Frankie, I'm sorry. I remember this girl with the powers, but I must have blanked this scene out. I don't actually remember it, so I apologize.
It's all good. It's all good. So next we have, we got Wells. We know from last season that he's very protective of his daughter to a fault at times. And he doesn't want her having powers. And he asks Caitlin to talk to her, not knowing that Caitlin actually herself is a metahuman. And then we get Joe and Wally having a talk. Joe says he's playing dad cop. And we got more of Wally whining. Once again, foreshadowing, I believe, this jealousy is going to have. So, Don Willie, what do you think about those two scenes?
So, very interesting with Caitlin, having powers in this iteration, her not wanting to tell anyone, and now she's being put in a situation by Harrison Wells where he's like, can you please talk my daughter out of trying to be a superhero? And it kind of backfires a little bit, because even though she's telling her, hey, well, yeah, maybe you need to take a step back and, think about what might hurt your dad if something happens to you. Jesse is kind of like, what, fuck that. I'm tired of him trying to shelter me from everything. I'm going to do my own thing, goddammit, and speeds off. And then Wally. Yeah, what can we say about him that has not been said about Bobby Boucher? Just whiny. What would it be if I did not have many powers? Where? I'm like, come on, dude, man. Listen, you know, we understand you want to help, and your pops told you you are a brilliant man. Use your brain, okay? Told him, you can literally change the world by thinking about it and building it. And yet you're so obsessed with, but I want to be fast. I want to run around and see people like barricades. And what can't I do? Where? Come on, man. Grow up, kid. Grow up. That's why he'll always be Kid Flash.
Don Willie, I think you might have uncovered how he's gonna figure out how to use his powers. One day he's gonna be like, "Stop making fun of me!" Just flash away.
Well, LT, what did you think about those two scenes?
I'm right there with Wally. I would be whiny too. I'd want the fucking super speed. I mean, how amazing would that be to have super speed? I would be probably sad and crying about it too if I knew there was a possibility. I know. I'm going in another scene. Is this the same scene where Joe mentions that everybody got struck with this thing, so everybody could possibly have super speed or something like that?
Yeah, that was that scene. Yeah.
Okay. Now, so is it possible? Could everybody have super speed, or is he just saying that to make him feel better?
Well, okay. So there was the original explosion that set off the dark matter that hit everybody, but it was like it kind of depended like what they were doing at the time, and some of them, a lot of people weren't affected by it. But specifically, Wally and Jesse Quick were hit in a fight between, I believe it was between Flash and Zoom. There was a dark because there was a dark matter explosion in the lab while it was happening, and they also got hit by lightning from the Flash and Zoom fighting at the same time. That's why Jesse Quick got her powers, but Wally hasn't, even though he got hit by the same wave and lightning. So that's why he's upset, because she got it,
So,
but he didn't.
Jessie is the one that was running around the track, right? And they're saying she's really fast. Okay,
Yeah.
so was there any significance as far as is she as fast as Flash or close to Flash? Is she slower than him, or because they're like, wow, she's fast, but I'm not sure.
They this is the first time we've ever seen her with super speed. They didn't really
Oh, okay.
say what speed she was at, but
Okay.
And to Renee in the chat, that's generally how you get. You don't want to do that. That's how you end up being the Toxic Avenger. And this is a CW show.
Well, what do you think about those scenes, Jerry?
I mean, I thought it was pretty good by Joe, but it's also like I can understand why Wally doesn't, want to, why he's, upset. Who wouldn't be upset? You get to run fast. That's cool. Like, I mean, I would want to run fast. And if I thought I could and I wasn't being allowed to and everyone was discouraging me against it, I'd be like, what the fuck? What the fuck? It's one of my favorite characters in the DC universe is Superboy Prime, and he kind of goes through the same. Anyone who reads the Crisis series, Crisis on Infinite Earth and Infinite Crisis, you see kind of the same thing with him, except he's to a much more powerful level. But I'm getting off topic there. But yeah, if you understand where Wally's coming from, I recommend those books.
Listen, heroes are not supposed to be whiny little baby. He didn't give me the I don't have the power. Listen.
But don't really think of it from his point of view. If you knew there was a possibility, you wouldn't be sad that you can't have powers.
I mean, look, there's a possibility for a lot of shit. You know what I'm saying? I mean, look, I'm gonna say it like this. I have a lot of tall family members that are well over 6 feet. I'm not 6 feet tall. You know how I feel about it? I lose not 1 millisecond of sleep. I can't change it, so what's the point of me crying about it, man?
What if you could change it down, Willie, with your willpower?
I mean, if I could change it, yeah, maybe I would.
But so basically, Don, Willie, and James, you're saying we need to get him a bottle, huh?
A bottle, a pacifier, get him one of those bibs and rattle, Yeah, that's what Wally needs right now.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, I believe they're just making him like this just to set up I think the whole point of this episode was kind of to set up his jealousy that I think that's going to play in the future. But all right, let's move on. So next scenes, we're just going to kind of a few things here. But Julian figures out Frankie did it. She goes crazy, obviously, when he tries to confront her. We see her going crazy. Magenta reveals herself, throwing shit around. You know, she dropped the thing. Flash saves Julian, of course, and then of course he goes outside and she lifts up a police car, says it's either me or him. Of course, Flash chooses him. She's gone. So then Caitlin, she tries to talk to Jesse to no avail. Jesse knows that her dad put her up to it because Wells has always been bitching about his daughter. So she gets mad at her dad. Wally says he will talk to her, and then this is when Wally does talk to Jesse. We can see maybe, they kind of hinted last season that they might have some sort of thing going on. But she talks about how like her powers got jump started. Then he has the brilliant idea to try and jumpstart his own powers by jumping in front of a truck. Yeah, you don't walk in front of traffic. But Jesse saves him, and yeah, so we'll stop there. So what did you guys think about everything that happened there? Jerry, we'll start with you.
I mean, this is maybe one of the dumbest things I've ever seen in my life. Like, this Wally, he's just trying to force things. I understand being mad about not having your powers, but the way she described it was completely organic. When it's organic, you should know you can't force it. You got to let it be. And you got to if you could give it a little push, that's okay, but you can't force it.
Right on. LT.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with Jerry. It was really stupid and careless of him to do that, and like right at the last second, Jesse saves him, and he could have been, out cold for the count, and it's really good that Jesse saved him, and I don't know, I compare it to like if you were walking on a bridge and I'll fly if I jump off the bridge, yeah, it just wasn't a good decision by him.
What did you think about the whole Magenta scene at the police station?
Oh yeah. No, that was. She looks freaking scary when she changes her eyes and shit. Yeah, very creepy, and yeah, she dangerous, man.
DW.
Well, look, the whole Magenta scene is, like I said, I think that is possibly 1 point against Draco, being alchemy. But listen, it's one of those things where, okay, apparently, she has an alter ego, and the alter ego is crazy, willing to kill people. And look, I know Barry wants to see the good in people, but sometimes you just got to throw rocks at people at the speed of light and hope that it will knock them out, so you can lock them up in iron heights. And then as far as Wally, you know what? I think he did the right thing, stepping into traffic. I think he did the right thing for the family. I think Jesse should have let him, either fly or die. Either he was going to get his powers right then and there, or it was going to be a wrap for him. So, you know what? I think that was the smartest thing he did, was stepping into traffic. I just wish that he would have did it when Jesse wasn't around to save him.
Don Willie, that's a little harsh.
That's what he gets for being a little crybaby. I'm sorry, James. You what is the phrase?
Baby back bitch.
Exactly.
So he's baby back Flash.
But yeah, my take on it is I enjoyed the police station scene. I don't know. I wasn't feeling the actress who was playing Frankie. I don't know if it was just me, but it seemed a little cheesy, her performance. But I don't know. Maybe I'm being a little harsh.
I think you're kind of right on that.
You guys didn't think she looked kind of creepy though, when her eyes and stuff?
Yeah, she looked kind of creepy. I'll say that for sure. But I just thought her performance was like really over the top and just kind of cheesy. But it's CW. You get what you get.
Most over the top since Mary Trent.
But yeah, the whole Wally stuff. Well, I don't even have anything to say about that. It was a dumb move. I think we can all agree with that. But it is what it is. You got some, LT?
Did we discuss or did we pass the part where Iris goes to talk to the stepfather in the hospital? Or we're getting to that?
We're getting to that.
Okay. All right.
All right. So in my notes, I wrote Wally continues to be a bitch. That was next is Barry and Joe. Well, mainly Barry chiding Wally, and they go back and forth, and Wally just continues to be emo, and Wells and Jesse continue to bicker. What else is new? And then Iris goes and talks to John. John is a mega dick. John, who's the foster father, he's a mega dick. He essentially admits that he's going to physically abuse his daughter, his foster daughter, when he gets out of the hospital. So it's almost like maybe he should have died. But so yeah, then we see that Magenta is lifting a tanker towards the hospital. So obviously she definitely has some, really good skills. Almost that was like almost Magneto level skills there. So yeah, LT, what do you think about that whole those scenes there?
Yeah, right, goes back to what Jerry was saying about the father being over the top, and he's saying, "Oh man, when I see her, it's going to be different." I mean, the girl's got powers. What are you going to do? I mean, you're going to die. But he's thinking that he's going to be able to abuse her again. Nah, I don't think so. And yeah, when she picked up that tanker, it just makes her look even more intimidating, more scary.
Jerry.
I mean, that just showed her strength, really. Showed that she's going to be a formidable opponent, but there's not really much else to say about that until we get to the fight.
D-Dub.
Yeah, listen, once you have someone who is lifting tankers and willing to throw them at a hospital, you got to take the gloves off. I mean, Barry had no choice but to try to talk to her because, if he would have punched her in the face with his mega punch, I forget what the hell they call it, the hospital pretty much would have got sunk under the weight of that tanker. But it was like, damn, he was just like, you know what, okay, I'm not going to just pull him out of... I'm not just gonna pull him off of life support and fly him into the river or something. No, I'm going to throw this giant tanker, which is probably filled with oil, at the hospital. I'm taking him and anyone who's even in the vicinity of him down. So, yeah, Magenta, crazy much. Yeah, that's all I can say about that. Magenta, crazy.
Yeah, I'd be okay if she took him out, just one person, just take him out. But yeah, taking a whole ship and demolishing a whole hospital, killing a whole bunch of people, that's a little bit overboard. But yeah, so of course, after they had a commercial break there. Then after that, we get to see what we all want to see. We want to see cool flash action, and we got that here. We see Barry doing a figure 8, creating a wind funnel to stop the ship in its tracks. And then, of course, here we get probably my personal favorite moment of the episode. We have Wells. He realizes that he needs to trust in his daughter and let her be Jesse Quick. And he tells her to go out there and help. And it's Tom Cavanaugh. He's done the run Barry run line so many times. He always says it in an epic manner. And of course here, I do love the music in the Flash. It's like the same theme over and over again, but it's a cool theme. And just when you have that theme playing and he says "Run Jesse, run," you get some goosebumps. So I love seeing that. And he delivers the "Run Jesse, run" line. And of course we see her relieve Barry of making their one wind funnel, and then he goes and he talks Magenta out of destroying the hospital. That part was a little sappy, but you get what you get. And she, I don't know, I guess defeats Magenta within and is just Frankie. So Jerry, we'll start with you. What do you think about that whole sequence?
I didn't think the fight was as good as his previous ones, but it was satisfying enough. The figure eight thing was kind of okay, but then they just kind of talk at the end, so it really could have sent anyone. It was kind of cool to see them send Jesse. I thought they were going to send Paco too, but no Paco. But, oh well.
They weren't right around the corner this time, so Paco couldn't get there quick enough.
They should have jumped on Jesse's back, carried him like Hodor.
Yeah, I suppose so. Don Willie, what'd you think?
First off, his name's not Paco. But
do a Google search for Paco Ramon, see what comes up.
Whatever, his name is Cisco, goddammit. Anyway, so yeah, as stated before, yes, it's CW, sponsored by Kraft and Velveeta, and a little bit of Aunt Jemima, because you gotta have that sweet syrupy shit on there. But I like Jesse Quick's outfit. And yeah, it was cool that she came and helped him. It was like, hey, nah, don't worry, I got this. Go and talk Magenta out of killing everybody. So yeah, that was pretty cool. Who knows? Maybe we'll actually get to see more than just talking one of these days from these people. We need an all-out Team Flash versus like a Rogues Gallery, battle royale. As long as they don't make it cheesy like they did with Arrow when it was Team Arrow versus I forgot who the fuck it was a couple of seasons ago. That shit was the worst. Anyway, yeah, it was a decent part for the episode.
LT, what did you think?
I agree with Don Willie, and Jerry. It was kind of, you wanted more action, and talking her down was okay, and yeah, Jesse's suit looked great. I liked her in the suit, and yeah, hopefully in the future we'll get more action and less talking.
I do got to say, are we talking about the resolution now?
I'm about to get into it, yeah.
Okay. Go ahead.
All right, so finishing up here, Frankie talks about how this all started with dreams. She was getting dreams of a person, of Dr. Alchemy, saying they can give her powers. And of course, we heard earlier when Wally was talking to Jesse that when he was talking to, I forget who he was talking about. He was talking to somebody. He said that he was having dreams that he had superpowers. So obviously, I think this is a connection that Alchemy is going to be getting in touch with Wally here pretty soon, and which essentially what I think the purpose of this whole episode was essentially to set this up. So obviously there's a connection with Wally. They say they're going to send Frankie to some good foster home. Jesse and Harry, they reconcile. Harry says that he trusts her essentially, and that she's going to be a hero. And he gives her the new suit. And he says they're going to stay a couple of days, but obviously something's going to happen. And I think that she's going to have to stay to help Barry, and which is good because I want them to be in there for the whole season. They're integral members to the team. Jesse's going to be integral for her ability to help the Flash, and Harrison Wells, of course, is a genius level scientist. Then, of course, we see Barry and Iris go on another date. I was a little miffed by the fact that they were able to use super speed with their dress clothes on, and the friction didn't burn their clothes like it did in the past. But whatever. And they kiss, and then we see Alchemy kill the rival. So it sounds like, Jerry, you wanted to say something, so go ahead.
I thought, why did they, look, this girl's obviously got some super strength and some crazy powers. Why did they recruit her? Bring her part of the team. Be like, look what we got now. Looky. And then, yeah.
Probably because they didn't want to pay the actress.
Oh, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Okay. But, yeah, so, and I already mentioned how good Iris looked in the blue dress, and glad they got a nice little date. And, yeah, Alchemy did he kill him this episode?
Well,
That was the last episode.
Well, at the end of last episode, it
That's
showed
what
him.
yeah, and they showed again. So we'll see.
All right, LT.
Sorry about that. Stupid mute wouldn't work. Yeah. It's funny now, and it like that alchemy you said is Jigsaw, and I just thought he sounded like him, and Rival failed him a little bit, but I don't think Rival deserved to die. I think he still could have used Rival and maybe possibly busted him out of that jail. I don't see why. I don't understand why he killed him. I mean, as long as he's alive, you can still use him to try to keep on, attacking the Flash.
Yes, he deserved to die, and I hope he burns in hell.
I'm curious to know what Alchemy's plan is, and maybe your prediction will come right, James, and he's gonna try and seduce Wally with the dark side. We'll see.
That's exactly what's gonna happen. Don Willie.
First off, thank you, Jerry, for stealing my goddamn line, because I was about to say that. But yeah, I mean, first off, him killing the Rival. I agree. I don't understand why he didn't just use him. As far as Magenta, I mean, I think they probably, if you wanted to talk about story-wise, why they didn't keep her around, it's because you don't want to take the chance of Alchemy possibly influencing her again. Barry and Iris. I mean, Barry and Iris is always pretty decent. I mean, I'm not blown away by it at this point. It's like, how many first dates can you have? But it was cool. I mean,
50.
Yes.
50.
Well, no, 52, because, this is DC. But yeah, Iris did look spectacular in that blue dress. He most certainly did. But yeah, we got to see what's going to happen now, because again, if Draco, and I know that's not his name, Julian, if Julian is Alchemy, he certainly is playing the long con on this one, because he was like, oh, look at the security footage of what happened to this dude. And he's, if he knows that Barry is the Flash, then he's showing it to him, and he's really just kind of reeling them in.
I hate to interrupt real quick, but Draco is the guy that works with Barry, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and he looks like the kid from Harry Potter. That's what he reminds me of.
That is the kid.
That's why we're calling him Draco.
Oh, okay. See, I'm an idiot. Okay, he got old. He got old. See, I thought it was just some older guy that looked like him. See, yeah, my bad.
Well, nah, he isn't platinum blonde in this series, and now he's got a scruffy little beard going on. So, yeah, but I don't know. I got to see what's going to happen with that whole thing. I mean, and look, sooner or later, obviously, Whiny Wally is going to wind up getting powers, and I know we're kind of skipping ahead, but I want him to stop whining, and yeah, let's have this. We need this battle royal to go on, folks. All right, we need battle royal.
So essentially, that's the episode. We'll go down the line, give your rating, and any general last thoughts. We'll start with LT.
I'll give it a 6.5. It wasn't gonna be a 6, but Iris looking good in that blue dress, giving it a half, and Jesse's kind of hot too. So yeah, 6.5.
There you go, Jerry.
Thirst is real, even in ratings. But I didn't think this was. I don't know, maybe a 6, 5.5. I mean, I thought this was a step back from the previous 2 episodes, which I really liked. So it's a bit more of a Monster of the Week episode, not very strong, but still looking forward to it. Still keep watching.
Don Willie.
Yeah, I'll say 6.5 too. Wasn't a great episode, but I mean, still watchable. You know, probably still 10 times better than anything that's happening on Arrow, and I haven't even watched Arrow this season. Um, so yeah, I'll give it that. Uh, yeah, hopefully they'll do better. I mean, we get Mirror Master for the next episode, so hopefully Mirror Master will be a much more formidable foe, and no more whining Wally. That's what I'm. No more whining Wally, please.
So did you have to take a half a point off your rating for Wally whining?
I think I probably took 2 points off for Wally with his whining ass. I'm like, oh, just way, and I can hit the way.
Yeah, hopefully Mirror Master is good, and hopefully they keep him around for a while, and he's a good secondary villain, because I think that's what the show's missing now. Now that I believe Snart is dead, I believe Captain Cold is dead. He was a good foil for because I believe he died in Legends of Tomorrow. I think I'm not 100% sure, but I think that's what I heard. But he was does that happen, Don Willie?
Yeah, he dies in Legends of Tomorrow, and then somehow he's still going to be the main villain. But not the main villain. He's still going to be a recurring villain on all of the CW Arrow, Flashverse shows.
Okay, well that's odd. But I don't watch Legends Tomorrow, so it won't bother me. But
I
hopefully
got
they
a
bring.
question. Sorry. All right,
Well, what's
so
up? What's your
Central.
question?
How far is Central City from Gotham and where Superman's from? Metropolis.
I believe Central City is like St. Louis, and that's like New York. So view
Oh,
it like that.
I thought Metropolis was like. Oh yeah, never mind. Okay? Yeah, Metropolis is Kansas, right?
No, Metropolis is like the light side of New York, and Gotham's like the dark side of New York.
Smallville's in Kansas.
And then oh, that's right. And then and Gotham's supposed to be like Chicago, right?
No, Gotham's New York.
No, because
I thought Central City was always like more northern Midwest.
I don't know the exact dimensions, but it's essentially like that. I mean, they're ways away. They're ways away.
It's Midwest. Let's just keep it at that. Whether it's
yeah.
All right.
So yeah, like I think Mirror Master is good. They can keep him as a secondary villain, like they had with Snart, because Snart always had good chemistry with Barry Allen. So, hopefully that's going to be the case. And I give the episode a 5. I think it was, this is it's one of those episodes of Flash where it kind of really doesn't mean anything, and I think it's because they have too many episodes in a season. It, like Jerry said, it's like a Monster of the Week kind of episode, and they have those. So really, what it comes down to is I don't really find Alchemy very compelling right now, but that's been the case with the villains in the first 2 seasons until it is revealed who they are. Then it becomes a lot more compelling, and then when they actually get into the main storyline, they don't have the Monster of the Week episodes anymore. Usually by the midway point, a little bit afterwards, that's when the seasons really kick in. So I'm expecting some more mediocre episodes coming up. I think it's just because they have too many episodes in a season. I mean, 24 episodes. I think they can cut that and maybe like cut it down by 5 or something. But it is what it is. But yeah, I still enjoy the show. You just got to realize it's a CW show, and there's definitely some cheesy moments and some kind of suspect acting. But just enjoy it for what it is, and that's what I do. So yeah, that being said, we're gonna do some sign-offs here, and I think we might. You might want to stay tuned to the Hype Squad channel because there might be something coming up right after this. So we'll start with Don Willie.
Sorry about that. I had trouble taking myself off mute there. Yeah, listen, thanks for doing this as always, James, and LT and Jerry, my guys. Yeah, look, if you haven't already, make sure to check out my newest video, Game of Thrones, The Case for Dan and Dave. And for all of you who hate Dan and Dave, I will be having the case against Dan and Dave soon enough. And also, I did a double reaction for The Walking Dead Season 7 premiere with Moji last night. So check out Moji's channel for that one. I might have my own edit of it. I'm not exactly sure if I'm going to do that yet. So stay tuned just in case for that. And, look for us, of course, here next week for this. And Saturday, Luke Cage fans, if you like Luke Cage, check out me, Mark from Enchantment of Eternity, and Josh from Geeksiders as we do a discussion about Luke Cage Season 1, where I go in depth with all of the hip-hop Easter eggs that were thrown in for any of you who have absolutely no idea what some of that shit might have meant.
There you go. Jerry.
Thanks for watching, everyone. And if you weren't able to check out this past weekend, we had a nice little discussion. First part of our Ned Stark character analysis series that we're doing. This one was called Meet Edit Start. It turned out pretty well. So check it out if you haven't seen it yet. And yeah, thanks for watching. We'll be here next week. And long live Paco.
Jerry, are you guys doing the TWD thing or what?
I've left SLT on that.
Okay. Well, LT.
Yeah, Sir LT Giles here. It's signing off for the Heist Watch channel. I have 2 story times up. I did like back-to-back days, and I got my first impressions of the episode of Walking Dead last night. But yeah, me and Jerry tune into the Heist Watch channel. I don't know, Jerry, we're gonna take a break, or are we gonna do it in like the next half an hour? Or?
We'll probably take a break for a minute. We'll see. We'll talk about it after the show.
So just tune in, look at the Heist Watch channel, and in the next hour or two. It's going to be me and Jerry, and if Don Willie decides he wants to go, he'll join. But I think it's up in the air if Don Willie wants to join. But we're definitely going to do a quick breakdown of the episode last night.
So there you go, guys. Make sure you check out the Hype Watch channel. There might be there's going to be the Walking Dead video up tonight. Yeah, my channel, I'm not doing much right now. I'm just way too busy, and right now I'm just when I'm on YouTube, I'm gonna be on with the Hype Watch. So yeah, next month. Be on the lookout for Ned 12. We'll be doing a chapter reread on Ned 12, and there will be another Ned Talks, as Jerry said. Just keep on the lookout for those dates. We'll send out Google events out and stuff like that. So yeah, guys, that's going to be it for this video. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit the like button, share it on social media, and of course, subscribe to our channel. Until next time, adios.